Okay, coach. So I'll start. This question is from Ashwati from the bridge. She wants to know that Luna plays so well in all the roles. He's an outstanding player, but he's more productive when he plays in the middle with two foreign strikers. But to do that, you have to drop Ivan and use an Indian player to partner with Jackson. Is that a reason to sign Danish? And are you thinking to continue with two foreign strikers up front? That's the first question.
No, it was not the reason why we were signing Danish. Danish was actually on our list since last year, and we think that Danish is a quality player, and let's say the character he possesses and the mentality he possesses, it fits perfectly to Kerala Blasters. And these are only a couple of reasons why we wanted to sign this type of player. So then, Luna playing in the midfield last game, it was just the choice, depending on our opponent. Of course, Luna is a quality player, even like wherever we put him to play in any position, he will do the job. So there is no problem about that. Then we all know that the rules of ISL that you may play only with foreign players, and then also depending on your opponent, depending if you play home or away games, then you make a choice. Then you pick your team, and that was the reason why Luna was playing last game in the midfield. So, and the last question was?
That's the question. Like, did you sign Danish so that all three foreigners can play up front?
No, it is. Also, I think that we were mentioning that in the previous interviews in the past months. I think that last season in the bubble, I think that we were one of the few teams, or even only team, being in top of the league, especially without foreign players in the midfield. I think that we were the only team without one foreigner midfield player in the whole league, and where everybody was saying that it is quite impossible to play football and to make anything serious without foreigners in the midfield. Yet we reached the final, so it doesn't matter. So again, signing Danish, and in one moment also losing Puitea, because his choice was to leave the club to go to another team, and then you have to anticipate, and it is just like fitting your puzzle missing pieces, where you want to have several choices. If anything happens, that you can play in the midfield with domestic Indian players. If you want, that you can play also with the foreigners. Only kind of having these different choices, and again fitting perfectly the character of Kerala Blasters club. Having that character, I'm really certain that all the fans, everybody will appreciate Danish as a player in Kerala Blasters.
Okay, coach. The second question they asked is, most of the goals we considered are from individual mistakes than any other reason. Fullbacks are not tracking back. There is a reluctance to put in a last ditch tackle like Leskovic does. How big is the importance of Leskovic, not just as a player, but as a leader in defense? And can we expect him to start tomorrow?
No, we will not start him tomorrow. We as a team, we are very aware of the end of the competition, and if everything is alright later, we would like to compete also in the playoffs, and we are always thinking on a long term. So it would be really unreasonable to, let's say, to sacrifice or to push and make it worse and lose one of the important players on the long term. So we would give him this one more game to recover fully, and we'll see later what will happen. From the other side, we have enough players. We signed them before the season to anticipate all these situations like that. And it's not sometimes what happens worldwide when there is a starting team player missing or getting injured like that, and then the new players coming in and jumping and filling that hole. Sometimes it needs time. You have to be ready. And then our individual mistakes, of course, they made bad results, but that's part of the game. And actually, especially with younger players, when they make those mistakes, this is the part of their learning process. Actually, when they actually understand, okay, this is how it must not be done. Next time, I must be better in that way. So, as a coach, I always especially speaking about younger players, like to give them time and space to learn, to talk about that later on, and like that you improve. So of course it makes you thinking twice about certain choices, but you know, that's part of the game. I just go with it. I accept that as a part of the game. Hello?
From my own.
Yeah.
Last match you have made drastic changes, almost 6 changes. And are you happy with that? I mean, there is some kind of this process and it's not gel good, I think. So, do you continue to experiment in the front?
But I think that as a football team, you must have at least 20 players who are ready to play any game you want them to play. Since last year, it's been now 1 year, second season in a row. We want our squad to be wide enough that everybody should know that there are no certainty that you will get your starting 11 spot for 100%. You know, there are always younger players coming to pick up your spot. There are always players who work really hard and fight for the spot on the pitch. You know, and there are players that must realize that it's not that easy. They must not be comfortable thinking, yeah, I have my spot and I don't bother. You know, I'm not worried. No, because these players are also, like I always say, everybody deserves to play. So everybody fights for his place on the pitch. And I was happy that after one period, especially after 2 defeats in a row, we wanted to give chance and time and space to some other players because that's why they're here. All the players we signed, they are in Kerala Blasters with a reason. They all deserve to play. And as a coach, I like to give them time and space to play, to show their qualities, why they're here. So we changed several positions, we changed options, just to confirm also to ourselves that they are with a reason in Kerala Blasters, and I was pleased. I was pleased to confirm those things. And then also, of course, the players, it's concurrence, it's fighting for your spot on the pitch. We want to have a strong team, strong squad, that it's not only about 11 players. And then thinking, like Mr. just said, if you miss one player, then everybody will start thinking and crying, yeah, well, no. You're missing one player, doesn't matter, there is the other one coming in. You're missing 2 players, doesn't matter. Last year it was the case. This year we want to show the same. This is how we actually want to build up and have our team, squad. Strong enough that whoever is missing, there is somebody else who will be playing in his spot. I think even last season we had 1 or 2 games where we changed completely the whole last line, defensive line, yet we had to play 2 games like that, winning the games because the boys, they know the job. So this is how we train, this is how we prepare these guys. So that's it.
Yeah, you start off with East Bengal in the first match, and now the league going to the final stages. And how do you rate East Bengal as a team? All these.
I think that they find themselves now on the spot where actually they don't deserve to be. I think that our tomorrow's opponent has lost many points due to certain circumstances, and I think they have a really good team. They have a really good squad. They have quality, and if in any moment you think that it will be easy, that's not the case. That's a strong team. If you allow this kind of team to play, if you allow this kind of team to explore their quality, you can suffer. That's the fact. That's the truth. And this season they proved many times that they're capable of making good things. Many times they were leading the game. You know, in the game they were dominating, leading the game, yet they were losing at the end. So, and especially at the end of the season where you have to face the teams where everybody says, hey, you know, they're in the bottom table and it will be easy. Quite opposite. It was the case the last game as well against Northeast. So you must never be relaxed. You must never be casual in this league. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. So the approach must be professional. The approach must be with 100% in order to collect the points. This is my vision as a coach. So you must never be casual whether you are playing against the team from the top or from the bottom table. it doesn't matter, it doesn't say nothing. So tomorrow's game will be really hard for us, and we have to be ready for this game.
Let's go not play tomorrow. Leskovic is not playing tomorrow.
No.
And any other injury worries?
Gil, we decided Gil to stay at home to recover fully after fever and the cold. So a part of that, everybody's available.
You have to wait for a long time to debut this season. So, and you played well on the last match, but you are not tested that much. And what about you think on tomorrow's match?
Yeah, because it's true. I played after a long time, but in that time I was prepared well. I trained well. So tomorrow match is very tough match because East Bengal is very good team and his different team. We played first game and now they improved lot of, and it will be very good play.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Karan, you played the 50th ISL match last time, and it was also first match for Kerala Blasters. How happy are you with the achievement?
Yeah, because it's my debut match for Kerala Blaster. It's very good. I debut for very big club, and it's good feeling also. And it's also 50th game for me. And for me, most important is 3 points because last game was very crucial game for us. Before that, we lost 2 games, and that 3 points more important than me.
For a huge fanfare in Kochi, but not in Kolkata. It's a different stage. How do you feel?
Yeah, because I played against Kolkata teams a lot of time. I saw there is crowd, and Kochi is, I think, great. It's one of the best fan base club, and also the sport is home team. Like always, they come when we are in trouble and when we are in losing. They come like always behind us. So we thanks for them. Thank you.
Hello, coach. My question is obviously we all know that coaches that the supporters' strength is big, but here in Kolkata there is also the supporters, East Bengal supporters. We all know has a huge strength. So will it be a factor in your play against East Bengal tomorrow?
Well, I think that this season, whether we were playing at home or away, there's been a crowd. You know, home. Supporters, away supporters. When we were playing at home, we are used to play in front of huge crowd. When we were playing away, there's always been a couple of thousands of our fans and also home fans. So actually our players and we as a team, we are used to play in front of the crowd. So tomorrow we expect to see also a good crowd, supporters who want to come and enjoy the game. So whether is it like home or away fans, they're all welcome because we would like to show them a good game that they can enjoy.
And coach, as we know that the last moment of the league is going on, we have seen in interviews or in the pundits we also saw that Mumbai City FC, Hyderabad FC, ATK Mohun Bagan, they are the favorites to win the league. But none of them are not really saying Kerala Blasters or like FC Goa. You are playing very well football, very good football. So what are your assessment on that, and what do you want to say about it?
Well, all around the world you see people and football people speaking about the way how certain teams are playing, delivering nice games or nice things, developing players. But at the end of the day, when the competition is done and when you see the ranking, this is what counts. So actually sometimes we've been witnessing in previous years all around in top leagues where the teams were winning competitions without even playing nice football. So we try to have a balance of playing nice football, collecting victories, collecting points, trying to stay among the best, being in top of the league, and also having one objective, giving chance, time and space to younger players who are developing in our process. We were mentioning a couple of times that we are not the club who will go around and be unreasonable with throwing out the money, buying everything they can afford on the market. No, we are quite organized and responsible with the things and moves we want to achieve. And then at the end, I think after so many years of disappointment in Kerala football, actually since last year we started building up one basis which will allow us as a club to participate and be every year in top. It means among the best, whether is it whoever, we want to fight with the best, we want to be among the best and fighting for the trophies. This is our objective, this is our goal. So later, there are different opinions. Everybody says you play nice football, but you don't. So we accept all those things, we go with our vision, and we hope that at the end, again, we reach the best result possible. So we'll work for that really hard.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, one last question. So this past week, one of the directors of a different club had said that two teams in this league are just at a different level in terms of spending. And they also pointed out that in terms of player cost, India is 30th right now in the world. But the ranking is 105.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? Do you think that this is sustainable, the player cost versus the actual quality? And like with two teams just spending a lot and the other teams are like, so what do you think about the entire scenario of the transfer market now that the window is closed?
It's a topic, it's an interesting topic, and I will try to be as short as possible. You always have, in any market, you have offer, you have demand, that's for sure. So Indian football market is really small, it's really short. So last time I was trying to explain. So you have 11 teams in ISL and you have 12 teams in I-League, right? Let's say two best competitions in India. So if we say and logically, let's say that every team has between 25 and 30 players in squad. 30 players, let's say maximum, which is not the case, but anyway, 30 players times 23, it gives you 690 players. Half of those players are not available because they are under contracts, they are key players to the teams, and the teams will never release them, so because they need them. So then, let's say in best case scenario, you have another half of those players available in the market. Then those players, so now we see second year in a row, we see that those players and any players, they are under contracts on a longer term. So before it was the case, Kari can witness, before with the old format, one player was playing for one team in ISL League. 3 months later, he was going to play for one team in I-League. 3 months later, he would... Now, in the new format, the clubs, they sign players on a longer term. So actually, when you come to a transfer window, one half is not available. The other half is available, but there is a price. Why? Because the offer is small, and then the price arises because the players are under contract. So actually, then you have to pay for the transfer fee because the players, they are under contract. Most of the players who are available, so the teams will say, but I don't need them because I have already quite the same quality of player in my squad. So actually only swapping them or changing them doesn't bring much difference in that case. So what happens now? All the clubs, let's say, they have to start in one point. We started it last year. All the clubs, they have to start in one point producing new players. Why? Because now you only have one small group of players available in the market and there is a price on them. So you have to produce something new. If you don't do it, you will only have this group of players, small group of players available, where actually you can put the price, and what you can do, there is only one choice, you have to pay for it. Otherwise you don't have players for the team. So in that case, if all the clubs start producing players, you will have new wave of new players coming into the ranks, growing up, new prices, you know, starting with the contracts. And this is the, let's say, unstoppable process that it happens all around the world. You know, it's a process. Players, they are getting older, younger, they are coming into the ranks, and this is how the football growing up. So in this case, now you have the price, you have the amounts that the clubs ask for, and you can do nothing against that. So this is the case. So we as a club, we want also, why we are saying that? We want to have one group of experienced good players, of course, and we want to start having the young wave of players who will become better, because tomorrow not only us, but Indian football as well in total, young national teams, senior national teams, they need players. So who has to do that? The clubs. That's the process. So that's why now, if we speak about these rankings, per salary, so this is the unstoppable law of the market, because this is only you have in the market, and there is a demand, high demand, because every club, they need players. And if you don't have players, don't have the, like, something to offer, there is only one small group that you have to deal with. This is it. And this will be like that till the moment that actually many clubs, let's say half the clubs in ISL or I-League, I don't know because we are not in I-League, when it comes to transfer window, when the club release one player, they're desperate to have another player because they are not producing. So then they have to go around and get the other player. And this kind of process, if you don't complete with your club or all the clubs, producing young players, bringing new force to a market, then in a couple of years, 2-3 years, there will be a problem, because this group of players will still be in demand. They are quality players, the most quality you have in India, but there is a price on it. So that's why it's a process that if you just research and look all around the world, it happens all around the world. You must continue with this kind of process, and many clubs in India, I think ISL and I-League, they don't do this. They don't produce this kind of quality that can later come to the ISL level, because these kind of players you need later on for national team as well. So, and we as a club, we wanted to start that last season, and I think that so far we are happy with that.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, guys.